Hail them.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
Captain, we're being hailed.
They're hailing us, sir.
On screen.
Hey guys, welcome back to Hailing Frequencies Open. Full disclosure, so we started recording this episode about the costumes of Star Trek The Next Generation Seasons 1 and 2.
And then we hit a temporal rift.
We had Q snapped his fingers and we went to a whole other time zone.
The future sucks.
So, due to some technical difficulties, a week later, we are continuing that conversation. So, welcome back. That's why we're all wearing different clothes. We happen to be recording this episode on Star Trek Day, so that's why I'm wearing my Star Trekiest Star Trek shirt.
It's very Trekky. I love it.
It is. I also have face masks with the same fabric, so that would be too much.
Right. You don't have to wear your masks over Zoom.
No such thing.
Right.
You could wear it like a little chin warmer. You could do that.
No. I get so mad. Okay.
Let's jump back in. Let's jump back in. I'm in the right mindset.
Let's do it.
If you're following along with the slideshow link, I'm on slide 11. We're about to talk about the episode Haven in the first season. So, Can you remind
us, Mike, who's the name of this designer that we're talking about?
Bill Tice, or William Ware Tice.
I'm going to call him Billy.
Billy. He did the original series and the first movie and Star Trek The Next Generation. So we have lots of looks in this episode. I'm going to run through them real quick. So it's the one where Counselor Troy has this secret husband that she's been betrothed to when they were children. Well, he dresses like Mork from Mork and Mindy.
Little bit.
His mom is wearing like a Guinan hat sideways on her head. That looks
full Norma Desmond of the future.
Full Norma Desmond.
Yeah.
And then they travel to a planet where women wear like a valance.
Yeah, I was gonna say like curtains, for
the boobs.
Also, her son is absolutely wearing an outfit, a jumpsuit made out of like the blankets that movers use.
Yes,
like to protect like breakables.
Yes.
He's also making a face like he shit himself, but
in this particular slide.
And Dad has he's got the slashed sleeve, like they just didn't. Yeah. Showing a little bit of skin, a little, you know, and those abs.
Some strong looks. Sorry, you might hear our dog barking in the background because
thunder and lightning.
There might be some thunder and lightning, which Chihuahuas hate.
Oh dear!
It's better than the snow we have in Colorado here in early September.
No.
Yikes.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Better than the fire or smoke down the.
I have to say that woman is in incredible shape. Like
Oh, right. Look at her abs.
Wait, she's got one of those itty bitty waists. She doesn't have one of those scary 6, 8, 12 packs. She's just like.
It's very like Blue Lagoon to me. Like this whole look.
Oh, her hair is very Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
It's that like blonde, like frizz. Like, what do you do to make your hair do that?
You do nothing.
Dry. Yeah, you just like
yeah.
you go swimming in a tropical lagoon.
You wet your hair, especially if you've been in salt water, and then you just let it dry in the sun. And if you have that texture, that's just what it does.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very
like Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Very Blue Lagoon.
I think that's why I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah. Of course, the real person to talk about in this episode is the anti-mame of the future herself, Lwaxana Troy.
Yes.
She has some great outfits in this episode. It's the first time we see her. She's beautiful. She's a vision in red with these sleeves. Like when the outfit she's in, her travel clothes, because I think she puts the same thing on at the end of the episode when she leaves. Her sleeves are like tight at the wrist and then like are huge on the body with this jacket that goes over her dress.
Yeah.
And
it's like she's wearing a frosting piping bag as sleeves.
Yeah. And then later in the episode, she wears a feather in her hair, like Miss
Hello,
Kitty,
Dolly. Yeah.
right? And a backless dress, like plunging backline.
Yeah, I mean that's hot.
Is she wearing underwear? Like, doesn't it look like she thinks she's just wearing like a nude colored thong? It looks like, I mean, they're seeing how low they can go before the sensors come in.
They absolutely are. Yeah.
I mean, it's really like but I mean, in all seriousness, that shot, that one still, there's such a beautiful shape to her back. It's, and just the little hint of the back, the small of the back, and then flaring out into her hip and the buttock. It's just like artistically, it's a beautiful line. I know nothing about costumes, but I know that that's just very pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not even we're not playing a costume game on that. That's just a dress that is it looks a little 80s to me, but like
sure, the pattern.
Sense, but like it's just a dress. Like they're not trying to do anything with it.
Yeah. You could have seen this, well, maybe a version of this on Golden Girls, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They often
at the debutante ball,
right?
Which was the promiscuous one?
Blanche.
Blanche. That's a Blanche dress.
I know that too. Hetero male. Yeah.
I just couldn't remember.
It's fine. And then at the dinner party, she wears a plant on her arm that can move and like starts to crawl onto the woman that she doesn't like, the other mother. So that's kind of fun.
So that's fun.
I don't know what to say about that.
Dangerous.
It's not really a costume.
It's a running theme.
It's a plant pet that
it's very poison ivy.
Yeah, it's very couture because clothes that can kill you are the wave of the future.
Joel Schumacher, Poison Ivy. Yes.
Yeah, very, very Uma Thurman.
Yes.
How tall was she? Do you know, Mike?
Uma Thurman or
Mrs.
Roddenberry?
Mrs. Roddenberry, because
Majel.
These particular photos make her look like she's like Allison Janney height.
You're right. I wonder if we can find out real quick.
She may be, because the actor playing her valet,
Mr. Hong,
is a very tall man, and she
very tall
is maybe 6 inches shorter.
Oh, she was 5'9".
5'9", which is tall.
That's tall.
Yeah, that's tall for a woman.
And in the right costumes, she could really look even taller, and it looks like they did that on purpose.
Well, she's probably in heels all the time, in every costume.
Yeah.
But even not like even sitting at the table right in that photo, like she looks it's statuesque. That's the word I want.
Statuesque. She carries herself like she's the heir to the house, holder of the sacred rings, all of that whole long title that she has.
Right.
She'd work at the costume.
Well, this isn't the last we'll see of her in this episode, so let's move on.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
One more look in season 1 before we move on to season 2. We have to talk about the episode Angel 1. This is the one where they go to the planet where instead of a patriarchy, there's a matriarchy, and the men are belittled like women would have been in the early or mid 20th century, frankly. So the women are in power, and they have these huge shoulder pad kind of things.
Oh, the women look terrible. Now, it looks like what they've done is they've put like a stiff, what is that called? It's more than a shoulder pad because it's actually sewn into the sleeve of the costume.
It looks like they're wearing like protective gear that football players would wear.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's the padding, but the whole rack that they get.
I just don't understand. I mean, I guess it's commentary, right? It's like in order to show women powerful, they have to look frumpy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in the original script for this episode, they were supposed to be really tall, like these giant women and like really short men. And so they cast tall women in short actors, but they're not like that tall. You know what I mean? They're not, and they don't.
Well, costumes don't help them read tall if they are.
No, they were so
because
wide.
it's widening them out. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like the over garment of a samurai warrior. Like,
okay,
it's like, but they would have a kimono with big sleeves underneath.
Yeah,
if they were male or female. But it's sort. I think maybe
So, like,
that's
the
what they're
armor.
going for. Like, like sort of like samurai warrior type lines. I don't know, which is a very wide, powerful thing, but it's not doing them any favors height wise.
No. Speaking of no favors, the men on this planet wear more than plunging necklines, like chest exposed, flowy, pink, shiny shirts.
Do you think that Riker wore that for Troy later in their relationship?
Just build on to that.
Just the left nipple exposed.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
he has a whole set of glamour shots in wearing them.
Well, to display both nipples would be too much. So
that would be scandalous.
Then they'd be shirtless. I mean,
and the pants, they're not in tights. They're in these kind of frumpy pants, but they have like belting, like ribbons tied around them.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not wearing like even just like tight leggings. They're still like bunchy.
Yeah,
and you can see in the rendering right there with him on the stool that that's correct.
Yeah, it was intentional.
To look that way.
Yeah. Full disclosure, that's from a video game called Star Trek Timelines, but still, it reads that way. It's real frumpy.
You didn't give us the real rendering? Come on, Mike.
No, I didn't find it.
They probably burned those. So
yeah.
They probably looked great in the rendering, but and it's not like these costumes look bad. They're definitely saying something.
Yeah. And they also you got to think about the time frame to get all these costumes made.
Yeah.
Like they don't have, it's not every week, I imagine, but they don't have a lot of time to get a whole episode's costumes built and they're just like
they would have had solid 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, which is plenty of time
I mean, but being someone who knows very little about sewing and putting a costume together, once given the concept, like what the men in particular are wearing doesn't look like there's a lot of construction to it.
True.
The tops have sleeves, I'll give it that, but otherwise it's almost like they're draped in fabric and they just wrapped ribbon around it.
Well, my question is how is the neckline staying up? So did they use body tape to keep it up, or
rather than would it fall off their shoulders?
Yeah,
right. Or is there a structure that we can't see? I'd have to touch it.
Oh, I see. Maybe there is some structure.
You can sort of see him from behind.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Here you go, Aaron. So if he's here, you know
what's stopping it from sliding down?
Yeah, what's stopping it?
Because that's also very light, silky material. It would slide right off. I have a feeling that they just use double-sided tape. They've established that that's something they use quite a bit on the show in previous episodes. So they probably had some laying around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I now would have to also watch the episode in motion to see how it moved, but that's not for now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we'll have to watch this episode again.
Full disclosure, this is on.
Oh, must
Star Trek
we?
On in my house all the time, so I'm sure it'll come back up.
Inevitably.
I love it. Is that all of that's season 1?
Those are the costumes I decided to highlight in season 1. Season 2,
good choices.
Just a handful.
Just a smattering of the most fun costumes. So William Thies or Tice, I think it's Tice. Bill Tice left the show after the first season, and he actually passed away a couple years after that from complications from AIDS, because it was the 80s, and we lost so many amazing people, talented people. So that's very sad. And in the second season, we got a new costume designer. She only did one season before Bob Blackwood. Oh my God, I just forgot his name. Anyway, we're not talking about those seasons. She only did one season, season 2. Her name was Drewinda Rice Wood. She was nominated for an Emmy for Best Outstanding Costume Design for the series. And in the second season, she had a few challenges. There were a few changes. course, Riker grows his famous beard.
Yes.
Which saves the show.
Deal with it.
A few people have different colors. Geordi and Worf both go from red to the gold. Counselor Troy gets the maroon version of her jumpsuit, and she starts wearing her hair down. And Wesley gets the gray version of his costume rather than the color stripes at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a comm badge. I don't know that he had a comm badge ever in the other outfit.
I don't know that he did.
His comm badge is all silver too, as opposed to the others.
I would like to say that Counselor Troy does not wear her hair down. She wears her hair extensions down.
Oh, right.
Yes.
That's fair. That's
And
fair.
this is sort of the like doctor's coat thing that they went with for Pulaski, right?
Yeah, Dr. Pulaski introduced in this season, of course, and yeah, she has this. I don't know if it's supposed to be flattering. Is it supposed to hide the hips a little? It's not. Everyone else is in a true like jumpsuit, like as we discussed, the 2 sizes too small spandex, and clearly they didn't want to do that to this middle-aged woman, and she didn't want it. So they gave her pants and a top, but not. It's not the scant. It's shorter than that. And there's a couple versions that she wears throughout the season. But
one has pockets.
One has pockets. It's the only one that we ever see her in.
You have to be careful giving women pockets. We get into all sorts of trouble if you give us
Danger.
pockets.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Pockets mean power.
What do they need to keep in there? A knife? A gun?
No,
A book?
don't need anything. That's what a man is
A
for.
book?
That's why a woman's supposed to have a man to carry all of her things.
They don't need pockets. What are they going to carry money around like a person? My God.
Money. We don't own things or have personal possessions.
Ridiculous.
My goodness, you're so silly, Ben.
Better reverse all the buttons so they don't learn it the other way.
There is a reason that the Ferengi don't let their women wear clothing.
Because then they'd have pockets. They might
Exactly.
have pockets.
And they'd have pockets.
To put money in.
And then
Star
you can
Trek The Next Generation
breathe.
Season 2. The season with pockets. The dangers of pockets.
The other big addition this season was, of course, Whoopi Goldberg as Guinan.
Yes, Guinan.
Did track down a rendering that Miss Wood did of the Guinan first costume. And of course it changed before it got to the screen. She wears lots of purples and reds in this season.
Yes.
And cool headwear. And I realized as I was looking at this that the headwear is really to not hide, but it's to cover. It's almost like a headband for her hair, her dreads or her extensions. You know what I mean? Because she often has the really long dreadlocks.
But okay, I have a couple things to say. Sorry,
No,
I
go.
didn't look at the slide. First of all, that rendering makes her look inherently like a black woman. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like the way that headpiece is drawn, it makes her look. It is almost a little stereotypical. So I wonder what was going on there.
Well, it looks more traditional. It looks like it's tied from the back.
Yeah, it looks so. And I'm sorry, it looks a little Aunt Jemima, and it's not okay.
Sure, right.
And then, but then the evolution of it is it doesn't read that at all, which is so smart of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it looks of the future, and it looks of
the big disc.
of
I like
not
the
this
big
world.
teardrop one.
Yeah.
and
It
I
looks
like
the
regal.
high crowned.
Yeah, regal is a great word.
Yeah.
Well, and even, I mean, she's draped in purples and maroons. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it really speaks to her being royal.
So, and the other thing that I'll
Absolutely.
say to you, Mike, is that yes, Whoopi Goldberg in this moment had dreads, but the way that you would style a black woman's hair if you were going to do a weave is that's easy to hide. It's easy to hide. So they either liked it and used it, or they actually put them in for her.
Oh, sure.
I just don't think that it was like, well, Whoopi Goldberg has this weave and we're making it work. I think that that's not true at all. I think that that's a very clear choice. So what does that say about what they're trying to do? I don't know the answer, but
and the headdress is different in the rendering as well, like you said, but she also doesn't have hair in the rendering. So I don't know if
I
they
think
were,
maybe that's the
you know.
issue. I mean, it looks like it's just tied up.
Yeah.
Also, with
Yeah,
those hats, they could have hidden all. If she had dreads like that and they wanted to hide it, it would be very easy to do in the hat. But there was clearly a choice
Oh, and
to
they
not,
don't. Yeah.
which becomes then iconic as to what she looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she looks comfortable, which I feel like has something to do with the actress, because she values comfort. Whoopi Goldberg does. And she's fashionable. I mean, she's comfortable and fashionable. I mean, I don't know if you watch The View, but she has amazing like sneakers on every day, like the coolest sneakers. Like she's like really into comfortable but fashionable shoes. So much that they have like a shoe cam that they show what shoes she's wearing that day.
That's so much
Watch
fun.
The View right now.
It's like
That's
there's too many
amazing.
things I know about The View.
Yeah. I think there's also something about Guinan that is like almost holy or like sage in a way. It's like, and maybe this was someone had the idea to put her in a habit for Sister Act, but it's very like almost habit or priest-like in a way. And she's like the wise character. So I think maybe there's a little bit of that going on with the headwear.
Yeah, well, the pointy ones
The
do look a little
robes.
bishop-like, don't they?
Well, and where
From the
they
front.
when they backstoried her in the movies in that way, I wonder if that was always the plan.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it
Yeah,
would
that
make
she
sense.
can.
Well, we
She
love
can
us some
exist a little,
Guinan, that's for
you know.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So let's grab a couple episodes from season 2 and look at them. We just talked about these on the podcast not long ago. The Outrageous Okana.
Han Solo.
Oh my God. Acid wash jeans.
Aaron, who did you say he looks like?
I said Flynn Rider.
Oh, you said Flynn Rider. Ben said
Yeah.
Flynn Rider.
Here comes the smolder.
He wears vests on top. This is Okana himself. He wears vests on top of vests. 2 different knee pads.
On vests.
like
Really high-waisted pants.
Very high-waisted pants. An open plunging neckline shirt with a little buckle in the front for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Pirate sleeves with leather cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Racers.
Obviously.
It is a look.
This looks like they were like, I don't know, just grab that and pull that and throw that on him. Okay,
Yeah.
he's done. Get him out of here.
They wanted it to say like rogue, you know.
Space pirate.
Space pirate.
Sexy space pirate.
Scoundrel.
Scoundrel, right.
Who is this guy in the bottom right-hand corner? Because that costume doesn't fit him. He needs another fitting with an alternate.
I know, look at the shoulders.
They
He's one
borrowed
of
it
the
from
fathers.
Dr. No. They
Right,
borrowed
yeah,
it as
that's-
a Bond villain. And they
Clearly
put it
it's
on
like
him.
it's like a Dr. Evil,
Lord.
Dr. No costume.
Dr. Evil costume, but it doesn't fit him. It looks like he lost the convention cosplay contest.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's constructed in a way that he
Mike froze.
So did Tim.
Oh, it was them this time. It wasn't me, Aaron.
No,
It wasn't me.
you
They'll come back.
win,
Don't
Ben.
worry.
I'm sure they will. We can keep talking about the space
We
pirate.
sure can. Space Pirate, the outrageous Okana, is
And
a
Terry Hatcher
Right.
oozing smolder.
Oh right, yeah. She was like on
Red.
there, and she was hired as like a sexy. Oh, they're power blinked. Supposedly, they're having some warp core issues.
Oh no.
So I guess they're rebooting. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to remove the waiting room again on our Zoom call, friendos. Guys, this is so exciting.
This is exciting.
Okay.
I guess, Ben, you have the bridge.
You have the con. Yeah. So I was just about to we'll just wait until they come back. I'm sure we'll just cut out all this out, Mike. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe
Be
we'll
fine.
leave it in. Maybe there will be some gems
So
in here.
the bad dad in like the evil ship in the red, like, the red ship.
Oh, yeah, with
picture
the
in the middle there.
repurposed Klingon background.
Yeah, they just turned the Klingon thing around and put it on the
they're like
back wall instead
peel
of the
the
ceiling.
foreheads off.
Yeah.
Keep a lot of like the
He's
take
velvety.
the leather
Oh,
off.
look, there's Mike's back. So he's not in his
But
chair.
Mike disappeared.
Oh God, the power blinked and they disappeared.
No.
But
This
I
is
think
where
he's
there's
wearing
more
velvet.
morning.
Is what I was gonna say. That
It could-
dad
yeah,
dad
the
number
way-
2.
Yeah,
think
the way the
he's-
sleeve is.
Yeah, it looks like velour.
Oh God.
It's like
Oh,
that would be.
God.
And his son is wearing like a leather jerkin, and I'm like that seems terribly uncomfortable. They're like pseudo military though,
Yeah.
and the other dad's like pseudo doctor. So
Well, yeah, and the daughter is
hi
just
Mike,
like a
welcome back.
Hello.
knocked
Hello.
up Princess Leia.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, more technical difficulties.
And the Mary Lou Retton haircut, which
Mm-hmm.
I dig. But Terry Hatcher is like, I mean, she was hired for 2 reasons, I think, in this episode. But
The
hi,
fluid is
Tim.
very volatile.
Did you guys just continue chatting?
Oh yeah.
Sorta.
we just-
I mentioned in the middle. You'll hear it. I'll just I mentioned in the middle. I was like, just cut all this out. It's fine.
Yeah,
So we'll
sorry.
pick it back up.
We'll pick it back up.
I was commenting on dad number 2, not Dr. No, but
Like
the
dad
other
number
one.
2 in the angry red background. And
the
he's wearing
repurposed
velvet.
Klingon ship.
He's wearing velour. Like
Mhm.
Right.
his is like a living room couch that he killed in war.
Well, his son has the same outfit in leather, so that's an
Yeah.
interesting choice.
It's like a leather
Almost like
jerkin.
like maybe it's a uniform of some sort, but
It's pseudo military, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
If one is velour and one is leather, which do we think was less comfortable underneath the lights?
Oh, God.
They have leather. They must have a lace one somewhere. Someone down in that engine room is in a lace version of that.
They've only got one pattern, but they've got infinite materials.
They can only make one. Yeah,
Right.
they have unlimited fabric, but
but
one
they can only
pattern.
make one of each.
Yeah,
Well, in the women in this episode, we have Okana's romantic conquests, right? So Terry Hatcher as Lieutenant, I don't know that she has a name.
Lieutenant Sexy Pants.
Right.
It was very nice that she went on to own that coffee chain in Canada.
It was
Terry Hatchers.
Terry Hatcher's, where you get
Mhm.
the fantastic
Mm.
iced cappuccinos.
they have
Yeah.
lovely mochas.
Very good.
That's amazing. Yeah, I don't know what to say about her outfit other than it's sleeves with no shoulders, and it's like I the first time I saw this, I thought it was like a night dress, like she's ready for bed. Maybe it's because she's barefoot, but maybe it's a dress. Maybe it's not a nightgown.
I think it's easy to take off. I think is the whole.
Well,
I think it's
There you go.
supposed to be, yeah, almost like a negligee sort
Yeah.
of a thing along, because I wouldn't put on a dress and not put on shoes.
right, but it's a negligee that's a nice mid, ankle length negligee. Almost.
It was the 80s,
Sexy, but not sexy.
the 24th century.
And we see some alien maternity clothes with the other lady,
Mhm.
which is again just a bunch of fabric, kind of clasped.
Sort of a-
and
It's a
draped.
very
like a
Princess Leia thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've got the Han Solo Princess Leia thing happening, but without the buns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I commented before, the Mary Lou Retton haircut.
Mhm.
The Mary Lou Retton haircut. Yeah, right. She could do some gymnastics in that, and it'll fall right back into place.
She could play Peter Pan.
She could play Peter Pan.
God.
I can't think of Mary Lou Retton without thinking about those
I don't think she played Peter Pan.
commercials that she did
Right.
Yeah.
in the 80s for Revco. Anyway, whatever. Um,
Famous gymnast,
Next.
tennis player, or something. I don't know. All right.
next.
Did she golf? Was she a golfer too?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
No,
She's
I'm
in
making this
Scrooged.
up. Oh, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, she's Tiny Tim in Scrooged. That's one of our
Holy
Christmas
smokes.
movies.
Nice.
Moving on. A next episode that I plucked from the mix is Manhunt, mainly because I wanted to talk about Lwaxana Troy's second episode. But
The garbage
here we
fish?
go. We talked about the scant / dress uniform with tights, and we see Captain Picard in the tights in this one. Later, it's a very similar costume with just pants, but here it's tights. Later in the series, and his legs look good.
Oh yeah, I mean,
accents the caps.
Sir Patrick,
right?
I mean, he's been in enough Shakespeare to look good in tights. I mean, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And then we have the aliens who look like they're dressed like those coolers that they have for like 7-Up in the gas station.
Yes.
It looks like a middle school production of The Wizard of Oz, and they're both auditioning to play the Tin Man.
Yes.
I can't. They look like they're coming out of mufflers. They look like they're fish heads.
They do. They do. That's excellent.
I think one of them is a famous rock star.
It is. Yeah, I forget who it is. But it's like Ted Nugent or somebody. It's something ridiculous.
I think it's maybe Mick Fleetwood.
What?
There's somebody
That
under
might be
the
right.
makeup that's like
Someone
famous rock
super
star.
famous wanted to be in the show, and then they gave him like this fish guy face.
Right.
There's a member of Fleetwood Mac in that muffler.
I don't know who it is, but it's somebody super famous. That's in
Guys,
it.
this is really important to me. I need to know if Mick Fleetwood needs to be pulled out of that muffler.
Quickly, Google it.
I
It's
refuse.
okay. No, don't. I don't want to. Don't ruin it. If it's someone else, it needs to be
my
Mick
gosh.
Fleetwood in my mind forever.
It is Mick Fleetwood.
It is. I remember that.
How did we not talk about this when we did a manhunt?
I don't know.
Oh,
We
it's a
skipped
Mac
it somehow.
attack. Then he just
Have we
starts
gotten to this
drumming.
episode yet? That's why, because we haven't gotten to this.
Oh,
episode
it's at the end of season 2. It's
Drumming.
towards the end. Yeah. It's Dixon Hill, but
It's like causing Aaron to cry.
yeah. And they also
Having
did.
a
They
full
did.
meltdown.
They did
Meltdown.
the
I really
Dixon
like
Hill,
Fleetwood
the
Mac.
period costumes in this one too.
Yes.
Which, well, Fleetwood
I
Mac.
love I love Fleetwood Mac. No, I love the Dixon. I do, but no, I love any time they do the Dixon Hill stuff. I just get such a kick out of it.
Oh yeah.
I should have put the Dixon Hill episode in the first one too, because that's actually the episode they submitted for the Emmy. So here this is her design, but it's also Bill Tice's design because it's really based on Dixon Hill from the first season.
Gotcha.
And there's it's great. It's 40s. It's vintage. I'm sure they had all this stuff in stock, right?
And then
Well,
of course,
no, they would have had to acquire it. I mean,
yeah.
You think?
there's no such thing as stock when it
Wow.
comes to that stuff.
Really?
Do you think
I
they
was-
would have still had any of it from the first season?
Yes.
Oh, sure,
They,
yes.
they would be a stock of that, but like,
But yeah, it
Unless
wouldn't be
it's
like they can just
being-
go and be like, here's the 1940s section of our costume shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
and I don't know enough about 1940s suits, but if they couldn't find it, they would have built it.
Mm.
Or 1940, 1920, is
Or
it 1920?
Whatever year it is.
It's 40s, I think.
It's 40s?
It's like the 30s.
No. Well,
I think it's the
now-
30s.
Now we're splitting hairs. I think it's
Sure.
post World War. I think,
Okay.
but it could be post First World War.
I don't know.
When we get to the episode Manhunt, we will.
It could be the
jump down
20s.
this.
It might be the 20s.
Because
No, it's not the 20s.
I feel like
it's
they
the
were
30s
wearing like
or the 40s.
suits. And weren't zoot suits
Yeah,
That was
20s?
the
be-
30s.
Oh, 30s? Okay.
Yeah? I don't know. I forgot
know.
everything
Find
I
out.
learned in costume
Zoot suit
history.
riot.
Of course, the person who has the best costumes in this episode is the woman who's on the Manhunt herself.
Oh my
Again,
god.
Space Anti-Mame, Lwaxana Troy. So here, she's no longer just wearing red. She has sparkly,
God.
glittery, amazing costumes.
I haven't
Angles.
seen this many sparkles since show choir. It's
It's a
just
lot.
like it's a lot. And the sleeves for days.
It's very Carmen Miranda.
Oh my
like-
god. She's majestic. She's a majestic, sexy beast. I love whenever she's in an episode. She just comes in and chews the scenery.
Oh yeah, she's great. Did we lose
Jeez.
Mike and Tim again? I think we did.
I think we did. I think
The
we
internet-
did. I thought
Why does the internet? Yes, you are. Yes, he's texting me. Yeah, you are. I'll text him back.
Sorry, Mike. Am I frozen? Yes. Let it go. Let it go.
Goddamn.
Can't hold it back anymore.
Well, we only have like 8 more slides to get through, so let's just power through, Aaron.
Yeah,
I was the problem last time, so I'm sort of like relieved that it's not me.
It is not you. 50% of the call is a problem this time, and you are not in that 50%.
Oh, let it go. There's your GIF.
Yeah, it's my GIF.
Yeah, I think my
GIF
favorite
games.
outfit is definitely the big poof ball sleeves. Like that's
Like she would truly have to turn sideways to walk through doorways.
yeah, she is all shoulder.
Just love it.
It's great. It's a really great outfit.
Well, and then she turns around and has the exact opposite in the photo that Mike put right above it, where she's wearing the outfit with just the shoulders cut right out.
Yeah, no shoulders. They pulled them off of that dress and put them on the other one.
Yep. So there are 2 kinds of shoulders. None at all.
There's no in between
Shoulders for
for the
days.
shoulders. Yeah, it's like there's nothing in between for her.
Just incredible. Do we want to power on to the next?
I don't know. They didn't say if they were coming back or not.
This might be a 3-parter.
I guess so.
Could be a 3-parter.
Well, next we're talking about the American Gladiator like fighting stuff, the Icarus factor
Oh, sweet Jesus.
with the,
oh my gosh.
the like pseudo like samurai-esque warrior stuff and the like just a foil mask and a like it's definitely like a foam hat, like a helmet.
Yeah.
Like it's a foam. Oh shit! I got to turn off the fucking waiting room again. Excuse my language, everybody. Oh no, it's off. They can get back in. As can anyone else. So we'll see if there's a Zoom bomb.
Those actually, do those have Asian like language characters?
They look like kanji symbols. Yes, I would imagine they are like. They could be some kind of actual repurposed fencing equipment or samurai like kendo sword training stuff, which is the bamboo strip sword that they do. They're resetting their router. They're going to be here momentarily.
Just moments away.
Yeah. So, but the Icarus factor doesn't have a whole. That's not Riker's dad. I forget what happens in this episode.
I can't remember. It's a blur to me. But I'm distracted by that man's jumpsuit and the unflat. Like he wasn't wearing shapewear.
Yeah,
and this is not me judging. I will never body shame someone, but like I'm seeing a lot of detail that I don't know that the costume designer or the actor were intentionally putting out there.
Yeah,
but because of the material, the fabric, and because of the lighting.
And that like the upper part, like that knit brown thing, is this just a dickie? That's just like sewn into the jumpsuit.
Yeah.
I think. But it's not. And this guy is a famous actor. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. We talked about him when we did this episode, but like I know him. I've seen him a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Hello, Mike Jones.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It's raining like the end of days, as Tim.
Lola. Hi, Lola.
Was very concerned about it.
She's very concerned about the.
So she unplugged the router. She was like, "This."
Did you get my text?
You sent a movie. I didn't watch it though.
There was a movie?
Because we were still recording. Oh, is it raining?
This is what's happening outside, which is not helping.
I'm watching it too. Oh, it is raining, y'all.
It's biblical.
Yeah.
Wow.
Florida rain is not joking around today.
Yeah.
That's a crazy. So we were talking about the American Gladiator outfits from the Icarus Factor.
Oh, good.
And we were talking about the lack of shapewear on the gentleman in the jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Riker's
Their guest star
dad.
did not have. It is Riker's dad. I knew it.
I couldn't remember.
I forgot. I feel like they have him
Fucked
back and
out.
it's a different actor. Like they don't. I feel like he's. Maybe they mention him a lot. I don't know.
He's the same actor. I think dated Blanche on Golden Girls.
Yeah, he's in
I'm
everything.
gonna get the conversation back to Golden Girls as often as possible.
I encourage
And
it. He's also
slowly
the
turn
boss
this into
in
a Golden
Liar
Girls comic.
Liar. He plays the. I love a good
Oh.
roast. Deuce
Nice.
Simmons. Simmons is old.
Can we just talk about the fact that Jonathan Frakes is wearing a body shaper? Because the way that it's cutting in, men's bodies don't do that. No men's body is made that way.
The waist piece there.
Yeah, there's like a little curve that a woman can have naturally.
Men
but
don't
not a
have
man.
shapely waists?
No, not that way.
Men don't have that?
It's definitely got a little bit of a
that's only
girdle.
you women.
It's got a girdle there. That's nice.
I've
And
got
no
curves, but
So,
I can't get
The
pockets.
guy in the sleeveless jumpsuit. He's an engineer, right? Like he's down in the Jeffries tubes
Yes,
kind of guy.
he's a yes. So in fact, I included this because
He was
we
working
were,
on the mufflers from the
Yeah.
He was shoving fish into.
like if
Mixed
you were
You're welcome.
this is the kind of outfit you would wear to crawl through the Jeffrey tubes, not a scant.
No.
You do not want to be crawling through the Jeffries tube ladders
No.
and look
It
up and
gets
see
drafty.
your
would
number
change.
one. You know what I mean?
My God.
I worked with an electrician once in the theater.
Did you?
wonderful
Theater.
who really liked utilikilts.
A lot of guys, a lot of TD like tech guys do. I've never been that guy. I'm a step away from it. I'm utilikilt adjacent, but I'm
They're
not.
fine. But if you have a job where you're going up and down ladders all day, maybe something that you're not supposed to wear underwear under isn't something you should own. He usually wore underwear, but still, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Utilikilt.
I
Google
don't
it.
know. Well,
I'm good.
Well,
I would wear that jumpsuit at work to be a sleeveless, like zip up engine
Yeah.
jumpsuit. Like I would totally wear that.
it's basically overalls. I mean, it's
Yeah.
basically like space coveralls,
Yeah.
So the best thing that well, not the best thing, but Dorinda Rice Wood has said that she's really proud of two things. One, establishing Guinan's look, and two, establishing the look of the Borg. Because of course we see them in the episode Q Who, and they this writing wise, this species evolved. They were going to be insectoid at one point, and it really changed a lot. So they eventually became these previously humans, now with like technology adhered to them, like half robot, half human cyborgs. And what she did with it is these black. It's basically a black. What would you call that? Like a jumpsuit,
Unitard?
Leotard, unitard, something like that.
Yeah, it was probably just a black unitard. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, with all those things layered on top of it.
Yeah, lots of tubing and
Tubes.
things.
He's
It's
just wearing
probably-
a platform sneaker.
I was just saying,
Yes.
like platform shoes, like slip-ons.
Yeah,
To make
it's
them
a
look
sneaker.
taller, maybe?
Yeah, or it might be like a loafer, but yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a
Well, and it's
comfort-
flat.
clog.
It's also
It's a sensible
flat
clog.
on the bottom, so your feet
Yeah.
would kind of stomp.
Oh,
stomp,
sure. Like
yeah, so they want you to clomp
Frankenstein.
around like a monster.
And-
Yeah,
Yeah.
like big
Yeah.
Frankenstein shoes.
Yeah, his shoes were.
Yeah, and if they made them and didn't buy them, like I wonder what they made the platform out of if it was really heavy.
Oh, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do move slowly, the Borg. In the slideshow, I include a couple of the original sketches. There's a picture of the designer herself working on them.
Oh,
So they really evolved from kind of a sleek look to all the tubes and everything. That wasn't part of her original design, which I think is fascinating. Because now I think when we hear Borg, we imagine, like, I don't know, like half of a garage stuck to your body. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you just like you just greeblies everywhere. Just
wires and tubes and things.
Just throw it on, see what sticks.
They continue to evolve, of course, throughout the franchise and became scarier and scarier.
But they did like come quite a long ways in establishing that look and that whole like pseudo, I don't know, S&M type vibe, vinyl and the leather. I don't know.
It's got to be hard because most of them
super attracted to the Borg.
Right. Yes. That's right.
Don't kink shame me.
Much.
Don't you kink shame me.
I did not kink shame you. I just think that it's important to know.
What kind of attachments are on your Borg arm?
Well, the original renderings are like sort of like skeletons in a weird way. And I never really thought about that, but they're sort of playing on that like zombie trope because that's what they are, right? They're essentially mindless
zombies.
I mean, they're not mindless, so they have a hive mind, which goes back to the insectoid thing, but
yes.
Interesting. You can see how like those original ideas like developed and became what it was, which is very interesting.
It really
and then explored, of course,
evolved.
a lot more in Voyager when we learned, 7 of 9 and reclaimed from the Borg.
Right.
But that whole idea started in TNG with Hugh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's released from the collective and what happened.
Well, didn't it sort of start with Captain Picard though, with reclaiming Locutus?
He's the first.
That's before the Hugh episode.
You're
You're right. Yeah,
it is. He's the first ex-Borg that we encounter.
Like the first one, I think, ever at that.
Yeah, I mean the difference
know
is Hugh is so far gone that he doesn't have any memories. He doesn't have. I mean, they named him Hugh.
Borg.
They named him Hugh because wasn't like his designation like started with the letter U or something like that?
No, well, they're like, what should we call you? You.
Oh, you. That's what it was.
Very clever.
We'll call you Hugh.
I love that. I know we're getting off topic, but I love that character got to come. His arc got to complete in Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, that was great.
And there again, the Borg have really changed. Like they really change over the course of. But it all with the groundwork was really laid in this season with this designer. I think it's really fascinating.
Do you imagine, like how important these characters and like one costume designer, like one and done, and she really I mean they're different now, but they're not that different.
2 major points of the series like that carried through all the seasons, and she like did it. She's like, okay.
Right.
Did she leave the show, or was she won her Emmy and they just didn't ask her back, or what happened?
She was nominated for an Emmy. I don't know why in between the second and third season, there's a huge changeover. The showrunner Morris Hurley left, and there's just a big changeover behind the scenes.
When
and they
did
bought
Roddenberry die?
He died in 91.
Yeah, so not too long after this.
Not too long after this, yeah.
He was around to hate the third season, and then died.
They brought in Bob Blackman, that's his name, Robert Blackman, to be the costume designer who from the third season on, he did the movies. I mean, he really defined the rest of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah. Well, he brings in the French collar uniforms and all the stuff that we love.
We'll have to do a whole episode about that.
Yes.
There's a great video online. Well, actually, it's a bonus feature on the DVDs of him giving like a tour of the costume shop and describing the changes that he made to the costume, and it's really great. I'll have to
watch that before we do our next costume episode.
Absolutely.
The actors must have been so happy to have costumes that fit them properly and didn't, give them back pain if they dared to sit.
Yeah. Right.
And allowed for the Picard maneuver to be a thing.
Yeah, well, they were able to work the costume. His like pulling that shirt down was such a like.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
Well, the problem with those is they had trouble lifting their arms because the way they were designed, if you lift your arms, the waistline lifts up kind of dramatically. So that was him just kind of constantly trying to like futz with it to make it
I wonder
good.
why they didn't give him a panty strap then. I can solve that for them very quickly.
I don't know, actually.
He might have liked the motion, though. It might have just become a sort of a personal
Well,
But
to the point where I think they told the other actors not to do it because it was like Patrick Stewart's thing.
They probably figured it out on the first episode of the season, and everyone else got a panty strap.
Yeah.
Which is
And
like
they just let him do it.
Sew it
to,
on the
hold
inside.
on his thing. It's very like, it is very like, sort of like military man, like,
right,
the guy in charge kind of thing. It's cool.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, I, for one, have enjoyed this 2-part jaunt into the world of costumes.
So yeah.
Indeed. It was a
Through all of
roller
our-
coaster.
I feel like we've learned a lot.
Now, will if I make Angel 1 costumes, you'll all wear them, right?
Yes.
Obviously.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And
What is-
that will be an extra special treat for our Patreon members. If you buy in at the $1,000
Right.
Q level.
You'll get a special
Then-
calendar starring
You
the HFO crew with
You get to
costumes
see,
designed and built by Timothy D. O'Donnell.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll have some Angel. What is this one called? The
Justice
yeah
with the
what
Edo.
we'll have some Edo costumes. We'll have some Angel 1 costumes. It's gonna
We've got a couple of
Love it.
napkins in
That'd
the
be
background.
Oh, see, I was
Right.
excited about the
Tack
Angel
them
1
on.
costumes because I wanted some
the
severe
shoulder pads. Yeah.
shoulder
Oh
Right,
yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
you'll
we're gonna
be in
have
huge
both.
shoulder pads.
Yeah.
We'll all have our left nipples out, but you will have giant shoulder pads
Just the
and
one.
feathered
I'm
hair.
here for it.
At the $5,000 level, we'll do Edo.
Yeah, it's just the
There you
symmetry isn't there, just the left nipple.
Right.
Well,
Oh
gang,
my gosh, that's
we made it.
amazing.
We
We
did
made
it. We
it.
solved it.
several of us had internet problems along the way, but
Right.
God damn it, we did it.
For
Thanks
the
for
record,
sticking with us, everybody.
I've
Thank
got the
you.
crappy camera and the crappy lighting, and my internet is solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock. Mine's behaving today, so that's good. And there's 6 inches of snow outside.
Right. Well,
dropped my
wait,
toothpick.
Aaron's the only one who doesn't live in a volatile climate right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
apparently
I mean,
the
as
world's.
long as there are no superstorms and my
Yeah.
house doesn't go underwater.
Are we
so as long as
surprised?
we
It's
have that.
2020, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
snow in September, torrential downpour in the dry season in Florida.
Right.
It's whatever.
Double
It's
double hurricanes.
Yeah, double hurricanes in the Gulf.
what
Yeah.
we're living.
fine. Double hurricanes. Which sounds like
All
a
right,
great
well-
drink special, but not a weather
Oh,
prediction.
yeah.
I feel like that should be the name of our
I've been
band.
drinking. Double
Double
hurricanes.
hurricanes.
Double hurricane.
Rock on. That's
On that
Mick
note,
Fleetwood on drums.
featuring.
in the costume.
I love it.
In the costume.
Uh,
In the trash fish. Yeah.
the trash fish. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you've liked what you've heard, check out our Patreon. You can get special
the
perks as
calendar.
we've discussed. If you pay us enough, we'll show you our nipples. Apparently, the boys will.
Just one.
Just one. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Hailing Freak Open, or on our webpage at hailingfrequenciesopen.com. And I think that we also want to thank our special guest, Tim O'Donnell, for being here,
Tim O'Donnell. Woo!
giving us that costuming insight in this episode.
Love you, Tim
I
O'Donnell.
love you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And I'll see you in a second. All right.
Mm.
Come back downstairs.
Right, exactly. All right. Thanks, everybody. Hailing Frequencies closed.
No goodbyes. Just good memories. Hailing frequencies closed, sir.